It is Monday, April 13th, 2026. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by T-Mobile. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. It was nice to see you over the weekend as we did another tournament for the Warehouse Cup, although I didn't really see you until literally our drive home.
Yeah, we didn't spend a lot of time together because you had a red eye, so you missed the group outing, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then you're busy the entire time. But yeah, we had a nice chance to catch up on the way home. Talked a lot of things about sons.
Yes.
And what to expect in parenting.
Yes.
Which I appreciate your advice and your wisdom. So thank you.
Well, of course. Speaking of, this will be our tip of the cap. It's a perfect segue to what the Pirates did. They always have one dad's trip a year. So all the dads made the move to Wrigley Field over the weekend. Pirates nearly swept the series. They had a big lead on Sunday, didn't quite work out. But this is something cool, right? They get them all a suite. They get them all together. Brian Reynolds had hit a homer. So, he ends up going deep, and there's a great shot of his dad out there. There he is, all fired up. Yeah. And what a cool moment. Here is Bubba Chandler on what the weekend meant.
Everybody wants to be a Major League Baseball player when they grow up. Everybody, if you grow up here in America, it's a good chance that you want to be. And, he didn't have that opportunity, but I do. And be able to share a moment like him or with him the past couple of days, it's really special. And, it's something I'll never forget.
I remember Stephen Brault, when he used to come on the Rose rotation, told us about this and how it was far and away his most favorite thing he'd ever done at the major league level. I can only imagine what it's like as a dad, and then to be a son and to have your dad on the road.
Yeah, that's really special. I mean, my dad used to come visit me and throughout my major league career, and every time he would come in, it is special. You feel like you got a little bit extra that day when either of your parents are in the stands. You want to show out for them. But yeah, this is something that a bunch of teams do, not just the Pirates. I know the Royals used to do it as well. A lot of times they bring the dads and they do the batting practice and stuff like that. So it's just, I agree with what Bubba is saying. Like it's great to share the experience because it's a little different. Having your parents come in separately is different than having like a big boys trip, right?
Yeah,
so
they get to fly on the plane. They get to drink the beers after the win in the clubhouse.
Yeah, Teddy, let's go. Step it up so we can do that together. Come on.
And all of his teammates at the major league level are going to be like, "Your dad also played?
Your dad was on that show with Chris Rose? That's sick."
Oh yeah, that's
we got noticed at the airport last night.
That's true. We did get a shout out on the after flying into gate 62 or wherever we were. Yeah. That was nice of them. Shout out if you're listening. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. Not a planted fan at LAX.
No, it was not. It was midnight, so.
All right, let's get on to the weekend that was. A lot to catch you up on. Tough weekend for the New York teams, huh? You got the Yankees getting swept down in Tampa. You had the Mets that took it on the chin from the not to be called Sacramento Athletics, I guess is what we're doing. Anyway, let's start with the Mets. And it has been a weird last few weeks, particularly for Francisco Lindor. We've seen several on-the-field gaffes, not knowing how many outs there are, not defending the right base. We saw it then on the field, a game they got shut out in. Nick Kurtz picks him off a third here. It was too far. Here's his manager on what's gone wrong.
It's weird because this is that's not him. It's hard to explain, and he'll be the first one that he'll tell you that he's got to be better. But yeah, never seen that. Some of those plays that he's just out of position at times.
How do you explain what's going on with Francisco Lindor?
I mean, you would call it a mental lapse, but when it keeps happening again and again, and I know it's early in the season, but it seems like it's happened, I don't know, like almost all throughout. It just becomes, he says, he has a quote that I love. I told Jake this, like, I'm not motivated, I'm disciplined. Like, is that going away? Is that discipline going away? And like, is he not happy in the organization? Is it like not a good clubhouse atmosphere? Because that's been talked about a ton. Like all those things can make or break the way you feel mentally. Like if you got a strong clubhouse, you go in there and you're motivated or disciplined enough to go in and get your work in and really fight for each other. But if that clubhouse is in disarray and you're like, dude, I don't really want to be here, like sometimes that spills over onto the field. And again, you and I have both heard some stuff going on, and it seems like it's getting the better of Francisco Lindor because he's too good of a baseball player to perform the way he's performing. I mean, right now the offensive stats aren't there to go along with the mental errors and stuff we've seen on the base pass. So I agree with Mendoza. It is weird. It's not him, and that to me tells me there's other stuff going on. It could be stuff at home, or it could just be kind of like a weird riff in the clubhouse. And I think that's my take on it. Is that's got to be what's going on.
They're on a losing streak, and it gets worse because now they're out in LA to take on the Dodgers the next 3. So it doesn't get any easier. This is really hard for me because I saw in what my opinion was the best of Francisco Lindor. Maybe he has had statistically, it's possible. I don't think so. I'll be honest with you. I think he's had better statistical seasons when he played for my then Indians. But he looked lighter. And I'm not talking about LBs. I'm talking about emotionally. And that can happen when you get to New York, right? I mean, it started out with the rat incident with Jeff McNeil. That shit was weird. Then we heard at the conclusion of last season, like he's about to be named Mets captain any day. That never came to fruition. We had actually made Lindor shirts that we were going to sell on shop.johnboymedia.com about him becoming the captain. Never happened. And then in the offseason, Stephen Cohn's like, that will never happen under my watch because every team is different. I don't know if all this stuff has gotten in his head. I agree with you. I don't know if he doesn't like the makeup of this team, but look at how drastically they changed it. They didn't change bit parts in the offseason. They got rid of their all-time home run king. They got rid of a guy who was their longest tenured Met in Brandon Nimmo. They got rid of dudes. Edwin Diaz did not want to be there for some reason. And it wasn't just because of $3 million difference that the Dodgers offered him. We can understand that if you want to go join a 2-time defending World Series champ, but I mean, he had been in New York a long time. There's some weird stuff going on here.
I mean, he better figure it out because he got 6, including this year, he's got 6 years and $200 million left coming to him. So you better figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. Like if you're, again, not in the clubhouse, did we hear things from time to time? Sure. But it seems to me like that had to bother him. Like, I'm not the captain. Well, you signed Juan Soto to that. Then for me, that's no brainer for Steve Cohen to come out and say, there's no captain here. I don't want any issues. But maybe that caused a riff right there. Like, who is the leader on this team? Who's the guy in the clubhouse? Which shouldn't matter at all. Like, that shouldn't matter at all. But I mean, that seems like what it is. And a lot of these moves were made to make Lindor happy, right? The Jeff McNeil thing seems like it was done to make him happy. McNeil, did you see the interview that he gave about Lindor? It was a very strange one. He ended up saying the right things, but his initial response wasn't great.
No, it wasn't.
So it could just be like a Lindor is at this stage now where he feels like he doesn't owe anybody anything, and he's just – the statistics have been fine, though, Chris. Like, he's been a great player for the New York Mets. It's just come along with some really weird things happening kind of off the field, and then this bizarre start to the season. Like, there's a world where he ends up with a 6 WAR this year, and the Mets are in the playoffs and all as well. But right now, through the first, 16 games of the year, it is a strange sight to see him playing baseball right now.
And to his credit, I didn't have a chance to check yesterday, but I know he has been in front of his locker answering questions and admitting, I've got to be better. And the play on Saturday, we saw it, Dan rolled the video where he didn't cover second base on at the very least, a force out, if not a double play ball that ended up costing Senga some pitches. Here it is. I have no idea what the hell he was thinking here.
It's like he didn't see the runner on first base.
Right. In which case is yet another mental lapse.
That's usually where, like, doesn't matter what's going on, he's going to play a great shortstop. That's been the weirdest thing. Because sometimes you're going to make weird plays on the base pass as well. But, like, shortstop, he's elite. And we've seen a few mental errors.
Well, as far as the hitting goes, and then we're going to move on, 572 OPS, just 3 extra base hits, no ribs. This has happened to him before. In 2021, first 15 games, .608 OPS, 3 RBIs. 2024, first 15 games, .430 OPS, 2 ribs. I mean, I think that
Are we trying to make too much out of like the clubhouse stuff or what?
Well, whenever you talk about stuff and you're not around the team on a daily basis and you're not inside the clubhouse, then yes, I mean, it's borderline unfair. We are just throwing out possibilities that all this stuff could be. And I don't ever like tying something like, well, it's got to definitely be this. He's not happy. Like, that's some shock jock shit. And I don't like to say that because we both know how wrong things can be when doors are shut.
Yeah, and I think the reason I would go there is just the mental aspect of it. That's the physical stuff. You get off to a bad start, who cares? Like that, he's going to be the guy. Look at the back of his baseball cards. The mental stuff that you start to wonder, like, well, why isn't he in the game? Like, why isn't he doing that? So that kind of sparks that. But yeah, I don't. Because we're not there, I think we should just say, hey, maybe let's just chalk this up to an early weird start to the season and just call it what it is. That's it.
I'm going to go down to Dodger Stadium maybe tomorrow when I give him my yearly hug. Say it's good to see you again. Maybe that'll be the superpower that cures all ills. In which case, Mets fans, you're welcome.
That'd be nice.
I'll do my part. Leave in the comment. I mean, are we overreacting here? Do you think there's more to it? Let us know, particularly those of you that watch him on a inning by inning basis as a fan. Let's get it going. I want to see him happy. I always loved rooting for Lindor. It just has always felt a little different in New York, and I know it can be. No question. Today's episode of Baseball Today, it's sponsored by SoFi. Crypto investing, it sounds great, but trading platforms, they feel way too complicated. We get it. But here's the good news for all of you out there, that SoFi is the first nationally chartered bank where you can buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrency all from one simple app. You can access over 25 cryptocurrencies, all on one federally regulated platform with the safeguards of a bank. Now, SoFi provides in-app guidance to help you learn as you go so you can invest smarter. Best part of all of this, it can be done in the same SoFi app as the rest of your finances, all bound in one portfolio. That is really cool. Need to let you know, crypto is inherently risky. You need to make sure it's right for your financial situation. But if you're ready to explore crypto with SoFi, all you have to do is visit SoFi.com/JohnBoy to start your crypto journey today. All right, we mentioned that New York's other team, not a pretty weekend down there in Tampa Bay. It was ugly. I got to show you what happened at the end of Saturday's game. They go extra innings. Yankee put a run on the board. Rays, they utilize their speed. They've got base runners all over the place. So Aaron Boone brings in Cody Bellinger to be an extra infielder, right? Ball gets chopped over his head. There's one down. Bases loaded. Jazz kind of fumbles it. Maybe he had a chance to tag Diaz, get a double play on it. Didn't work out. Rays end up winning the game. How about Jazz's post-game interview?
Even if you don't bobble that, do you feel like you have a shot at a double play there?
Yeah, I was really going to go try to tag the runner and just throw it to first. I don't know what the rule is if I went to first base first and threw it back to second if it's still an out. Is it still a double play? I don't know. Does it count as not an RBI?
No, they'll score.
They'll still score?
They'll get there before the time occurs second.
Well, where it was what I was trying to do in my mind probably wouldn't have worked anyway.
Thoughts, big leaguer?
I don't know. I think this is just like Jazz not really wanting to answer questions and just like spacing out. Like, I think he knows that rule. And he even said like what he was trying to do was tag the runner and then throw to first, which would have been a double play, which the runner wouldn't have scored. So he said the right thing at first, and then he just kept talking. And it's like sometimes, and I need this advice too, sometimes you just need to stop talking. But I do, like, if you're asking me, does like Jazz Chisholm not know that rule where if you throw it to first and then there's no more force, does the run score? Like, he knows that rule. The guy's played baseball for a long time. Like, there's no doubt that he knows that rule. I think it was just like I don't know, man. He just had like I don't want to call it a mental lapse. And maybe he just was very uninterested in answering questions right there. Does he need to do a better job of, I think he needs to address the reporters like more like respectfully. Like, I've said this now multiple times. I don't love like you getting dressed and talking. Like, just get dressed and then talk. Like, tell the people, like, hey, give me a second, let me get all my stuff, and I'll talk to you. Because it does seem like very flippant and nonchalant kind of answering those questions. And then he gave that type of answer. So I think he would do better if he got himself ready and then took a breath and then answered questions. Because again, I don't think he knows the rules. He knows the rules.
Well, that's what Aaron Boone said. He said he knows the rules and Jazz is not dumb. He came out and said that before Sunday's game. And I would believe him too. I don't know if the delivery was part of the shtick or not with him. Like, so what are the rules? Like, almost like, I know them, but let's just play this game. Let's have a little fun with it. And by the way, the voice that answered, that was not the voice of a reporter. That was Trent Grisham, who's sitting next to him, is like, no, dog, like, you need to tag him and get to first, because if not, if you just throw to first and then we get somebody in a rundown and run scores, game's over. Like, can't do that. So I do believe he knew the rules as well. I can't imagine. I imagine there's a certain sector of Yankees fans that doesn't believe him. That is probably.
Oh yeah, he got blown up, Chris.
He did get blown up. And let's remember what happened last year after he did not start game 1 of the playoffs against Garrett Crochet. He did his whole interview like this. I'm turning my back to all of you that are not on YouTube. That's how he did the interview, and that was some BS. I get it. You're mad. Get it. You're pissed off. Face the cameras and let everybody know why you're upset. And you might have had the backing of a lot of people, but the minute you start turning around, I think he needs a lesson or two in the art of delivery. I think that could do him some good right now, because he is fun. He is energetic. He's got charisma. He's a 30-30 guy. Like, these are all good attributes that Jazz brings to the table. But unfortunately, there are these little things that keep popping up that are driving people nuts.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to bury the guy over something. I think it's kind of like that play wasn't going to get made anyway. So I think we're making like a big deal. Like the Yankees, they did get exposed on their defense. Okay, and like, was that one of the plays? Sure, but like that was one of the least of worries they had. That was going to be a very difficult play. Mm-hmm. Most likely they were going to score that run anyway. But it's a maturity thing, it seems like, and it's weird because like Aaron Judge is so mature, and I know like they're obviously in the same clubhouse and boys. Like, has he not stepped in and said like, hey, dude, just like, this is how you do it. This is how you answer questions. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and it's a great point. Do you think that if Aaron Judge has not done that he needs to?
Yeah. I'm doing it right now. Like, save yourself a lot of like drama and like just answer the questions, like facing a reporter. Just, you don't have to give him anything if you don't want, dude. Just stand there and just say your ho-hum answer and get out of there. And that's it. And then go play the game, because I know that's what you love to do.
Well, we asked a question about Jazz earlier this year about would it have been a big deal if he doesn't have New York Yankees gear on. No, like if he was still in Miami and this happened, maybe we would have talked about it, but it's not that big a deal. But when you play for the most famous franchise in the sport, hell yes, it's going to be a big story. And when you're heading into your walk year and you want to break the bank and people are trying to decide whether or not they want this sort of talent around long term, hell yeah, it's going to be a big story. Dan Rourke just put in our chat. We all know him. He's not just our one-of-a-kind producer. He is an enormous Yankees fan. He said, all these things are why I'm officially out on entertaining a long-term contract for him. Hope he produces, probably will, but otherwise want nothing to do with him. I wonder if that's the prevailing theory among Yankee fans at this point.
I mean, how about this? Just, it could change like that. Like, some of the things that he's doing can be fixed very quickly.
Well, you know what's funny? And the Yankee fans aren't the only ones that do this. It's whenever you get a guy who's really talented and a breath of fresh air and something totally different than you have in your clubhouse and starts lighting it up when he gets there, and Jazz has put up really good numbers in pinstripes, everybody's like, that's our dude. We just needed to save him from Miami. And now look where we are. Jeez, when the hell does his contract run out? Because I can't deal with this shit anymore. So there's a lot of fan bases that do it. It just, once again, And Dan Rourke is raising his hand. He is guilty. He was number one front and center. I'm not
What
calling
was
him.
Joe's McFly? We looked these stats. We looked
did.
these tweets
We
up
looked-
yesterday.
We did with Joe's when we were doing ball and play. We're in the break room. Joe's like, no, dog. That's not me. And somebody pulled up one of his old tweets about Jazz long-term contract.
You know,
how's it play out? Is he a Yankee after this year or not?
no.
I don't think so either.
No, I don't think so. We always say performance trumps all.
Hmm?
You can get away with a lot of things when you're good. As soon as you're bad, anything that's out of the ordinary or you're not doing perfect, like they're going to point to it. So you got to again, I just, and maybe that's boring and maybe that's just, how it was in Minnesota, but we just really tried to anything that would draw attention away from us doing our job on the field, he just didn't do.
Well, let's just mark the date, April 13th. I'm sure there's a lot of Yankees fans and baseball fans in the comments blowing Jazz up and, go for it. If you really feel that way, go for it. But just mark this show because later this year he's going to go on a heater and then every Yankee fan is going to circle back. And be
over under 775 OPS for Jazz Chisholm.
What is it right now?
It's 501.
Yeah, I'll go over.
813 last year. 825 with the Yankees in 2024 in limited time.
Yeah, I'll go over.
Okay.
I'll go over. Guy's talented. Guy is talented. Woo! Padres. Had him wearing on today's show. Oh, hold on. I wanted to go back. I did want to ask this question. Dan, you can even change it back if you wanted to. A's and Rays. I wanted to give them some love for their sweeps.
Yeah.
One, both, or neither are super interesting squads for the rest of the year because they're now leading their respective divisions.
I think they're both interesting squads. They kind of get the job done different ways. The A's have that offense that we always talk about starting to come to life. Nick Kurtz with his first homer. That's great. They've been getting some good pitching from Springs and Savali, your guy.
Yeah.
So if Severino can figure it out, and I've always liked Jacob Lopez as a fourth starter type guy. He struggled to start the year, but if they can get some of that starting pitching and the offense comes to life, they're definitely going to be in the mix because look what's happened with the Astros, man. The Astros are falling apart at the seams with injuries already. Their starting pitching is basically decimated.
Yep.
So, that's one team they really had to worry about that right now, doesn't seem like it's going to be there unless they figure something out. So then it's just, can you be better than the Angels? And the Mariners have gotten off to a really rough start. I think they're going to be there towards the end of the year. I really do.
Sorry, I apologize to cut you off. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I say the Rays to me are one of those teams. They really took it to the Yankees, running the bases, putting the ball in play. They have some fun guys. They also need to clean it up defensively, but they have the talent to be in the mix here for a wild card spot. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love watching Chandler Simpson play because he specializes in two of my favorite areas of the game, stolen bases and hitting triples. To me, it's the best part of our game when guys are utilizing their legs and the ball is trying to chase down runners. I'm a fan of that aspect of the sport. They're the one team that I just don't think has a chance to win the East. But, the Rays have done funnier things.
I said wild card.
I know. You said that. The A's, I've told you this multiple times, that they are a top 5 fun offensive watch when they're going well. And you're just looking for, if your team's game is over and you're just looking for a game to, roll through and you see the A's are hitting, I'm stopping and watching them. I know Rooker's down for a while. That kind of sucks. Hope he's okay. The other thing is, who'd look great in an A's uniform this year? Mason Miller.
We don't know how that's going to play out yet.
No, we don't. I hope Leo DeVries crushes it. I hope he does.
Mason Miller would look good in any uniform.
Yes, he would. And I'm just saying that, games on the line for the A's. Who's answering that call?
Yeah, I know. I'm wishful thinking some of the pitching for sure.
Yeah, the pitching is going to be a problem.
Hogan Harris.
I like Hogan Harris. Good dude. Yeah. I like him. I like him. I've chatted him up a couple times. Yeah, I want you guys to stick around. Now I want to get to the Padres. What a weekend for them. 4 in a row over the Rockies. That was nice. They get a walk-off grand slam from Xander Bogaerts. And then the next night, for God's sakes, we had to check on Don Orsillo to make sure he was still okay.
Shoots to deep right center field. It's back. A 3-run home run to walk it off. Second straight night for San Diego. Holy sheets.
How long has he had that in his back pocket?
It's just so good. It's so. I just gave these guys an award on Talking Baseball about this. I mean, there's a bunch of calls. The bogey bomb, the holy sheets. They had some really good stuff on a Jackson Merrill homer. They're one of, if not the best booth in all of baseball. So
You know
fun to
why?
listen to them.
First of all, Mud, he just got an extension, I think, which is great. He just is such the perfect analyst for San Diego. Perfect. Funny, goofy. What a goofball he is, but in the best way possible. Knows enough baseball. Like, people don't know this, but he was a high first-round pick as a pitcher. Just didn't. He pitched in the big leagues for several years, but it just didn't work out the way he wanted. But he has made a tremendous second career. And Don, for God's sakes, I thought maybe Gus Johnson was going to be like, yo, Don, you okay? Calm down a little bit. But that was just beautiful. And you know what? I'm happy that San Diego, I was really worried after seeing 1 or 2 turns through the rotation, because you see Buehler and Marquez at the end of that thing. You're like, God.
It's still a big worry, Chris.
Of course it is.
It hasn't
Buehler
gone
threw
away.
6 shutout the other day.
They I know Buehler had a nice outing. They swept the Rockies. They hit some homers. The offense was good. Happy for them, but that's still going to be a big problem. I mean, the fact that, no offense to the Rockies, but you had to walk them off a couple times. I'm not putting anything down. It's a great series for the Padres. I want them to be good. Second best record in all of baseball, tied with the Braves. You got to love that. I still think Pivetta went out with an injury.
Yep.
They're already light on starting pitching. I don't know what they're going to do.
Well,
what are they going to do?
Griffin Canning's going to come back soon. And let's
Okay.
remember, before he injured his Achilles last year, he was great for them.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome. So, he's going to replace one of those guys at the back end of the rotation as long as Pivetta checks out okay. And it's an elbow issue, so you never know. We're going to keep our eye on that. And then Musgrove, he suffered a setback. So we don't know exactly when he's going to return. That's going to be a big deal for them.
They got Jason Adam back. That helps in the bullpen.
Yep.
We know they have that. We get it. But they got to get some innings and some decent innings somewhere. I just don't know where they're going to go, Chris.
There are people that think Giolito's going to end up out there. I don't know.
I don't know what he's doing. He just did an interview with another baseball podcast, and I don't know what's happening there.
I don't know. I can tell you what he's not doing. Shaving.
Yeah, big beard.
Yeah. He's gone to the Dallas Keuchel School of Facial Hair. Okay, let's talk about the big thing with the Padres. We're all at ball and play, and somebody goes, did you see that Tatis is starting at second tonight? I'm like, hey, come on. Somebody stole the social media account again. Well, no. We know he's a former shortstop that got moved out to right field, where he's become a platinum award winner. Here we are showing some video of him turning 2. We know he's got enough arm. He all right. And then he goes back and starts again Sunday, second base. Do you like this, or is it screwing with your Tatis mojo?
I don't really know what to make of it, to be honest with you. I mean, my first thought when watching that they'll play is he's got to have the best arm of any second baseman in the league now. That's great. Good for him.
Maybe ever.
Maybe ever. The reasoning behind it, at least the quotes that we got, were we just want to, we wanted to get Bogey off his feet. So Kroney was at shortstop, and we thought the best option was Tatis at second. Okay. We wanted this a little spark for him.
That's
kind of that's a interesting spark, to be honest with you. But I guess it worked. I don't know. Are they going to continue to do this? Is this just a one series thing? It's very interesting, man. It's very, very interesting. So I don't really know what to make of it. When our social media team came up to us and asked us about it, I said, well, is somebody hurt? It's like the only reason I feel like he could have been in there, but Craig Stammen just wants to ruffle the feathers a little bit, shake it up, and he sure did. I'm still analyzing it and deciding how I want to think about it. Because right now I'm just like, I don't know. Is it going to continue? Because that's a different thought.
Well, I can tell you this. I don't like it from a viewing perspective because anytime there's a ball hit to right center, I want to see if somebody, or right down the right field line, I want to see somebody challenge Tatis's arm. And he went out there and he did the reverse Mookie Betts. He has made an incredibly seamless transition to become arguably the best defensive right fielder in the game. He's so much fun to watch out there, track down balls. He's such a phenomenal athlete. His arm is off the charts. I mean, I'm talking about like from when I was growing up, Vlad Sr., Jose Guillen type throws, Dave Parker, the late Hall of Famer, the Cobra, like guys like that. I never saw Roberto Clemente. Obviously, I know I'm old, but I'm not quite that old. But those type of throws. So I dig it. You know, I used to love watching Ichiro play defense. So second base, cool position. Just for my viewing pleasure, I don't want it to happen.
This is too big. He's just too big for second base.
Yeah.
I would like to see him at short again. That would have been cool.
I mean, there have been a few big second basemen. DJ LeMahieu was 6'4". Jeff Kent, decent sized second baseman. But you're right. Like we like our Ozzy Albies type guys.
Yeah.
Jason Kipnis, those type of dudes.
Two little guys up the middle, man. They're just sort of diving all over the place.
Yeah. Your shortstops can be a little bigger these days.
Weird situation. Again, I think my thought process will change on it if he continues to do it. If it's just like, hey, spark it, we want to get Bogey off his feet, sure. Like if this is going to be an ongoing thing, I don't know if I love it. Also, Manny Machado, 15 walks to 12 strikeouts this year. Did you know that?
I did not.
There you go.
Well, I think part of the deal with Tatis, it was interesting because I think Craig Stammen said, hey, we want him a little bit more involved in the game, keep his mind in the game. I think that means we got to get this dude going offensively. He still hasn't hit a homer.
He's out there in right field. He's checking out what's happening out there. Is that what it is?
Well, I don't know. You played some outfield in your career.
You can get distracted in the stands. No doubt about it. Probably in San Diego a lot. Maybe they're like, let's get this guy in the infield where he's just looking at the pitcher. Okay. Now I'm in.
Blinders on. Yeah, you got to pay attention every pitch. Ball's going to get on you fast.
Yeah.
I also don't love the idea of either having Nick Castellanos try and field out there or Ben Johnson trying to hit in the lineup. Bryce Johnson.
Johnson, yeah.
I don't love either of those.
One day they should just put Jackson Merrill at short and Tatis at second. Just why not?
Treat it like Little League. Who hasn't played in the infield yet? I love that one.
That's what Ryan Cohen kept saying to me. The Dodgers did it with Mookie Betts. I'm like, all right. But like they did it like fully. Like, is this gonna be a full switch?
I just don't like it. It's not fun. It has seemingly worked. He's 5 for 9 as a second baseman.
And you know what? It's easier to find an outfielder that can hit than a second baseman that can hit.
Sure. I'll go with that. Do you know that Tatis has a lower slug than on-base percentage this year?
I'm looking right now, yeah.
His slug is 306. His on-base is 319.
I don't get it, dude. So, like, one of the most powerful swings in the game, he doesn't hit homers. I don't understand.
Well, we talked about it at the beginning of the year. Like, come on, man. Put your big boy pants on. Like, we love Tatis. He is a superstar in terms of the way he carries himself, but it hasn't been superstar performance the last couple of years. Has not. I know
it has not.
It has not offensively. So there you go. What do you think of it? Do you like the move? Do you not like the move? How much do you buy the Padres? How much are you worried about their pitching? Or do you think they're okay? A lot of stuff to get to in the comments on all that. Hey, baseball. It's a story told across generations, through the players, the moments, and the gloves. Yes, the gloves that shaped the game. Now the story comes to real life in Rawlings' book, The Finest in the Field. It is available now for sale at rawlings.com. This oversized hardcover book showcases 50 gloves drawn from Rawlings' unmatched product portfolio, worn by some of the best players ever to lace it up in the show. Each of the featured gloves, it is presented through detailed photography paired with immersive essays that place the artifact within historical context. Captivating imagery, period advertisements, additional memorabilia further illuminates the era each glove represents. So get your copy of The Finest in the Field on Rawlings.com. Experience baseball's evolution is told through the story of these iconic gloves. And having spent yes, sir. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Rawlings, hit me up. I got some things I want to do with you.
Oh.
And I know you're watching to see how Chris did on this ad read, which he did perfectly. And we're going to continue on it. Just get in contact with me. I got some really good ideas.
I do want to dig in real quickly. How many gloves did you have in a given season?
I mean, I only used one in a game, but like, how many gloves would they send me a year?
Well, you're right. You'd only use one in a game, but how many gloves would you go through in a year?
One. I had the same glove that I use in games for 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
And then you have practice gloves, you have backup gloves, and then you have like just extras because I was getting 5 gloves a year at one point.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, I made gloves for my friends. I made gloves for my family.
Okay.
You don't need a lot of them because, the Rawlings is, I used Rawlings. Very quality is there.
Yeah. Did you like go color? Do you like color on your gloves?
I eventually you have to because you just you get 4 or 5 a year, so you just want to make some cool ones. I made a Kobe glove. I made a USC Trojans glove.
Oh, that's awesome. Fun.
Yeah, but Ron Gardner one day told me that to not wear a light colored glove because it's distracting, and I grew up with a light colored glove. So then I stopped using a light colored glove and I had a black one instead, which kind of sucks for me.
I don't
know. He just said it to me one day, and I was young and impressionable.
I don't understand, Gardy, on that one.
I don't mean either.
Okay. Pirates, they took 2 of 3 from the Cubs in Chicago. We already talked about Dad's weekend, which was great. They had a big lead on Sunday. They couldn't hang on to that. But it really was Oneil Cruz's weekend.
Flowing to deep right field, blowing wind, and clear the deck. Cannonball coming. 3 pitches into this game. Oneil Cruz hits his 5th of the year.
It looks like he's out there. He's going out there having fun, playing baseball and allowing his talent to play out.
How much respect do you think he's earning, too, when they intentionally walk in there against a lefty, something we probably wouldn't have seen happen last year?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have seen that last year, I don't think, and he's earned that.
That, of course, is skipper Don Kelly. I'm going to ask you a true or false question. Oneil Cruz is more important on the field this year than Konnor Griffin to the Pirates' success.
Wow. I think it goes hand in hand, Chris. They need one of those guys to step up. Konnor Griffin hasn't really done much at all, especially offensively. So I would say, yeah. I would say he is. I would say, especially like we mentioned, like what he's been doing against lefties this year has been great. There was an intentional walk. That's crazy. But they need guys to step up offensively. Brandon Lau's been great for them. O'Hearn's been great for them. Oneil Cruz has been great for them. Like just somebody has to do it. But it'll be really nice because I think Konnor Griffin will find his way. He's not going to be a 400 OPS guy in the big leagues. So he'll get better. But Oneil Cruz kind of showing this off right now. I think it's more important to the Pirates, and they've done a great job pitching. Starting pitching has been great. They got guys at the back end of the bullpen, like the high leverage guys, have been great. So they kind of have this nice mixture, and right now they're at the top of the NL Central.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually close. And everybody knows how excited I am for Konnor Griffin, but it feels like we've hit a 4-year pause button on this guy's career. I think we've even asked the question several times when he and Ellie were kind of coming up-ish at the same time in the same division and with the same last name. We were like, well, which one's better? And then it became Ellie, and we're like, well, he's leaving Oneil in the dust back there. And it was just frustrating to watch in center field. And hell, he had an opening day gaffe this year where you're like, what was that? But this is what we want to see. We want to see a center fielder that's built like this and can steal 3 bases in a game and get 4 hits and put one over the wall. Like, we don't have this. We don't have great hitting center fielders in this sport today. For whatever reason, every position at some point hits a downturn, and that's where we are in the sport right now with center fielders. So I'm excited to see him get off to this great start.
I mean, you can say the same thing about shortstop. I mean, premium position. If you have a guy in center field, shortstop, or catcher that can hit, like, that's a cheat code for your team. So, Oneil Cruz being able to do that in center, it's big time. I'm loving the Pirates. I want it to keep up. I want Konnor Griffin to get going. Marcelo Zuna has done
nothing, absolutely
nothing. But again, lucky for them. Like, Brian Reynolds off to kind of like a Brian Reynolds type start, but B. Lau's been incredible, or Hearn's been incredible, and Cruz has been great, incredible.
Just to give you a few more numbers on Cruz, 5 homers, 6 steals. That's both in the top 5 in those categories. His highest career OPS in a season. Do you know what it is?
Oneil Cruz?
Yeah.
It's in the 7s. It's like 763.
Close. 10 points higher. 773. That's the highest of his career. Need that in the 800s at least. The left-handed pitching stuff that's going to be a game changer for him. 603 in his career against left-handed pitching, OPS-wise. He is 8 for 17 with 3 homers this season. He's killing it against lefties.
The Twins lefties are doing it too.
Is
it? I'm being serious about this. Like, for so long we had the lefty thing because they don't ever face lefties. When we have this, like, whatever that system is called, I forget what it's called. It's like showing you the pitchers. Like, lefties can now, if they really wanted to, could go into the batting cage and take multiple at bats a day against lefties. And it's the only thing that you can do to get better against lefties is see them. Like, I'm curious if those splits are gonna change because we have that.
We'll have to find out. That's good. Good stuff. All right, let's do a bunch of quick hitters because there's so much that has happened since the last time we had a show. First of all, out in L.A., oh, what a night for Max Muncy.
2-hole. Can he dig himself out? Well, how about just end the night? Max Muncy with a hat trick.
Yeah, hat trick and a walk-off homer. How underrated is Max Muncy?
I don't think he gets underrated like out in LA. I think people know how valuable he is. Maybe outside you could, but I mean, I think he's over 200 home runs. He's a guy that will carry that LA offense. Every year there's a couple different spurts throughout the year where Max Muncy's carrying the LA offense. That's the type of player that he is. I don't know about underrated. I think people know how good Max Muncy is.
Yeah, I think that actually it's the thing that helps him is that when you're talking about the Dodgers, you go, oh, geez, Shohei, and then Betts, and Freddie, and Will Smith. And then, my God, like Max Muncy, he'll hit 5th or 6th or 7th, depending on the day. Like Max Muncy has to. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. He's number 1 for the Dodgers in playoff homers, and he's number 6 all time, I believe, in regular season homers. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just, again, when he's hot, he becomes one of the best hitters in baseball.
Yeah, well, he knows the strike zone extremely well. Extremely well. So, good for him. LA's other team takes a series in Cincinnati, thanks in part to Jose Soriano, who's off to a ridiculous start. 7 shutout innings. Somehow they held on to win that game. 10 Ks. How much do you need to see of him before you put Soriano in ace status?
I mean, right now he's pitching like an ace. Yeah, you just need more starts. Last year pitched to a 4.26. The year before that to a 3.42. So he's got the stuff to do it. The big sinker, the curve, the four seam, the split's been really good. Like the profile is there. I guess to answer your question, we've seen this is ace stuff that he's putting out there right now. He's looked like an ace this season. So I guess it's just a few more starts like this.
Yeah, I don't throw around the term ace very often. There are not 30 aces in baseball. Not every team has an ace. In fact, in some cases, it's not even close. But the start he is off to. He is the first pitcher since at least 1900 to throw at least 25 innings in his first 4 appearances, while allowing fewer than 10 hits and fewer than 2 runs. Jeez. And all I can tell you is I was out in Anaheim the day after he threw against the Braves. And I said, man, that guy last night, he goes, I had multiple players say, it's just gross. The stuff is ace stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, when you have the combination of the 4-seam and the sinker that at that velocity and that kind of movement with the sinker, it's really tough. And then you pair that with a splitter on top, and it's just like, okay, like I really got to make decisions very early against this guy. And when that happens, if he's on spotting up, it's like you just tip your cap.
Yeah, and a few seasons ago, you thought he was really like an ascending pitcher because the stuff you would look at it and you're like, man, okay. Once he kind of figures it out, and he took a bit of a step back, but I think that it's not going to. Let's say this: it's not going to surprise me if he's throwing at a game in July in Philadelphia, if you know what I mean.
Okay, yeah, it's command. It's command with him. Like if he can fill up the strike zone. Because that's what he has the stuff to do that. If he can stay within the strike zone, command his pitches well, like that will make him an ace.
Yeah. By the way, while we're on the Angels stuff, I haven't had a chance to. A lot of people blew me up, and justifiably so, with the whole when we played Jimmy's soundbite on the breakdown between Soler and Lopez, and I picked the length of the soundbite. We should have continued it. It would have done it better justice. I kind of misinterpreted it. That was my fault. That's on me. A lot of people let me have it. It wasn't intended.
Okay.
Yeah. So people are like, why haven't you talked about it? Well, we haven't had a show since then. So here's the first opportunity. So I'll raise my hand, said I screwed that up. I'll be better. And I will also say it's not the end of the world. So, let's all keep that stuff in perspective.
Let's not talk about end of the world right now. I don't like where we're at.
Yeah, I don't either. I'd rather have people mad at me about my baseball takes than some of this stuff that's going on. The end of George Springer, at least temporarily, ends up on the injured list. Fouled a ball off his toe. Fractured that bad boy. When do you start to worry about Toronto's medical chart?
Oh, my gosh. That looked like it hurt. Yeah, look, I watched the games this weekend with the Twins, and they just don't kind of look like themselves out there right now. And you put the injuries on top of that. Oh, that hurts so bad. It looks like he's just like exposing his big toe. Look how he brings that thing up as he's rotating. It's just like right there for the take, and he hit that thing so solid. That sucks. Yeah, I mean, things have not started that well north of the border, that's for sure.
Brutal. 9 players already on the injured list. A bunch of those obviously were pitchers before the season even started, and then they started dropping left and right. Kirk
and Springer, yep.
Springer. It keeps getting worse and worse. And I'm going on a Toronto radio show later today, I think it is, and they're going to ask me, how concerned are you? Well, there's a ton of talent here, but guys got to get healthy. Let's go.
Yeah, between them and the Astros, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, good for the Twins. 9-7, right?
Oh, you're going to give some love.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
You talked about Taj Bradley on the show last week.
Okay.
And then they just went up to Toronto and did their thing. Good for the Washington Nationals, who just swept Milwaukee. That was cool. Good for Jordan Walker, who's hit 6 homers in the last 8 games.
Nationals are playing fun baseball. They're running, they're bunting, they're doing all those things that you'd expect from a young team with a young manager.
Little secret here. It's good if all 30 teams are kind of interesting through the first half of the year.
Absolutely.
This job sucks when there's dog shit teams out there. That part ain't fun. I can tell you that. So good for all those squads. All right.
I can't believe the Twins getting lumped in right there.
They were bad the second half of last year.
Okay, fine.
Well, true. I try to tell the truth most of the time. How about the Ichiro statue unveiling?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Where they take the big cloth off and boom, they break his bat. And, Ichiro joked about Mariano Rivera I didn't know he was still around here breaking bats. Hell, even the Mariners put out a tweet of the Ichiro statue bobblehead, bro. Like, that's funny. Or the little statue figurine giveaway.
Like, all I'm saying is, what kind of material are you using if it breaks when the blanket gets taken off of it?
Well, I need those things as blackout shades. Apparently, it's got some.
That's
sturdiness.
crazy. Yeah, there's some weight to that. Apparently, I don't know, man. Like, was there like a weld right there that went wrong, or
If you're the
is that thing
person
made of plastic?
that made the statue,
It's embarrassing.
you're crawling underground as fast as you can, right?
Some of these statues that we end up seeing, like, are there just not a lot of statue makers left in this world? Who was the one? Was it Ronaldo's?
Yes, the worst one ever. The worst one
Like
ever.
that was either like a sick joke or like, again, I think we're just maybe running out of statue makers in this world.
My guess is whoever the statue maker was hated Ronaldo.
Okay.
And was just trying to get even.
Maybe
Like,
that's a business that people should get into now. Like, hey,
I mean,
maybe there's a need.
You have to have some talent. That's like saying, hey, I would like
know
to.
if you do
I'd
right
love
now.
to-
I think the entry level seems pretty low.
Hey, man, why don't you go get a pottery wheel?
What is
for
that made
Ken
out
and
of, though,
Isla.
for real? Like, what is that? I know it's not a real bronze statue, is it?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm Googling now.
Oh, God, there's the Ronaldo.
Are statues made out of in front of
Hold on. Look,
sporting
Plouffe.
venues? I saw it. It's terrible.
If you're Ronaldo and that's the statue you see, are you running to the mirror to make sure that something did I have my face disfigured or something? My teeth all
That's
jacked
so
up?
bad. The hair is bad. Bronze is the classic choice for monuments. It's highly durable and resistant to corrosion. They're using stainless steel now.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well, I know that, the busts, the Hall of Fame busts are a huge thing. It's great. There's a whole process. They shoot the video of when these guys get their temples measured and what sort of hairstyle. Like, that's a big deal. What sort of hairstyle do you want on there? And the busts are very different than full statues, obviously. But I
Like,
have
a lot of
friend
these
that-
guys change what they look like over time. Like Tom
Right.
Brady's statue, is it going to be young Tom Brady?
I don't know.
Or is it
but
going to
it's
be like this new, improved Tom
dimple.
Brady?
Huge right here. Huge dimple. He's going to have that.
I'm all natural,
Yeah.
in case you were wondering.
You're still a smoke show. What can we say?
Yeah.
Well, look, Ichiro, it's a great honor to have a statue. Just needs to get cleaned up a little bit. That's all. Before we get out of here, this word from Trevor Plouffe.
Baseball is here, people. The days are getting longer. The sun is back out, and baseball season is finally upon us. Baseball is a game of inches. The result of a game hinges on 1,000 little moments, and momentum can shift quickly. That's why we decided to team up with Fanatics Markets, the trusted home for real-time sports prediction markets. It's simple. Just pick a game and choose an outcome, like which team will win, which player will hit a home run, and more. It's time to get involved in the action. Then buy contracts based on what you think will happen. Yes, if you think it will. No, if you don't. You can buy as many as you want, sell if the price moves in your favor, or let them settle when the event ends. So from opening day to the Fall Classic, no matter who you root for, Fanatics Markets is right there with you. Join the Baseball Today family on Fanatics Markets. Event contracts carry risk of total loss and changing prices. Not good for all investors. Not available in all states. Must be 21 plus. See important disclosures in Fanatics Markets app. Customers are introduced to Crypto.com by Paragon Global Markets, LLC, DBA Fanatics Markets IB, and introducing broker registered with the CFTC and a member of the NFA.
All right. Fun-filled weekend. Let's keep it going, baseball. We got some good series that are opening up. Some more fun ones that'll happen after an off day on Monday for some teams. And we'll be here with you every step of the way. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe, for somebody out there that is making statues of Hall of Famers, we wish you the best as well in your future endeavors. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Tuesday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by T-Mobile.